On our Alaska trip, the whales came right under our boat, and then they'd swim off and flap their tails or flap their fin. It's just one of those experiences I will never forget.
We had great opportunities to see literally thousands of zebras galloping across the savannah, and you're just watching this whole migration go through. It's a very, very special experience.
I spend my life reading and learning, and I can't get enough of it, and these trips enhance that part of my personality.
I think these trips are great examples of lifelong learning. With the books we were assigned to read before we left, you really had a good idea of where you were going. You had learned some of the history of places, and then once you arrive, you get to put all of that into perspective with the guides or with other people who may have been there before, and you kind of see history come to life.
When we first went ashore on the Antarctic Peninsula, we had read about it, we had heard about it, we'd seen pictures, but until you step out onto the beach with several thousand penguins surrounding you, it's a whole different experience.
To smell the smells and hear the sounds and feel the air, it's just a whole different place from what you think it's going to be.
The details of the temples. The workmanship was exquisite, the colors were vibrant.
There's so much beauty in this world. Everywhere we go is just beautiful.
On a Rice trip, I think the key is the faculty representation.
When you have a professor with you, it just adds a whole nother dimension. They add so much in terms of the background, the culture, the history.
We started in Amsterdam and we navigated the Rhine for about 5 days. You enter the Rhine Gorge, which is where all these magical castles are up on these ledges and perches, and our guide basically narrated for 2 or 3 hours everything about all these castles, what happened, who built them, things they had survived, things they hadn't survived. It was a magical experience.
I love those moments when I can just mentally put myself into a context many hundreds of years ago. And as a teacher, it's something I try to pass on to my students.
These trips inspire the alums, but they also turn around and inspire the faculty hosts. I gain a lot from all the different perspectives that each of the alums bring, and the alums come from different generations, different backgrounds. I get introduced to completely new ideas that I'd never thought about without going on these trips.
It gives an opportunity for our alumni from different years to get to know each other, talk about their experiences here at Rice.
Being a friend of Rice University, I've met a lot of new friends through these tours. They're exciting. It's a great way to meet new people.
The Rice alumni are a wonderful group of people to go with because they're always so engaged, always curious about the history of the area, to the geology, to the science.
We seem to have a natural curiosity about what's happening around us and want to learn new things all the time.
And to have our alumni go to these different places is a demonstration that we share this planet together. These men and women have seen Rice as part of the world. They serve as wonderful ambassadors of the university.
I think the program is still around after 50 years because it's so expansive. The Alumni Office has done a great job to include groups that are maybe a little older, groups that are younger, things that are focused on adventure, or something that's a little more leisurely.
I recommend these trips regularly to my students. The kind of travelers on these trips, to me, are ageless. I see their minds as continuing to want to learn.
The Rice Traveling Owls trips broaden our horizons and our view of the world by taking us to places that we normally don't have that many opportunities to go. The last trip when we went to Tanzania, on the flight back, we happened to fly over this active volcano, Oldonyo Lengai. Very few people have ever been able to see the top of this volcano, and the pilot circled it 3 times. It was truly amazing.
It just gets you into a different part of the world. When you get there, you realize that you are meeting people like yourself, people who are excited to see you, people who are ready to welcome you, greet you, showcase their culture, celebrate, sing, dance, if there is anything one can do that reminds one not only of being here at Rice, but the greater world that the education is supposed to prepare them for, these trips do that.